It is almost 8 o'clock and I woke up kind of early this morning. I had really bad period cramps and I couldn't get back to sleep. So I was just kind of lying in bed, and then once the sun came out, I decided it was the perfect opportunity to head out in the garden because I didn't get a chance to catch up on some things in the garden yesterday. And I saw a couple of bees around. In the morning and in the afternoon, it tends to be the best time for me to spot bees, and I've been wanting to get a few snaps of some of them just so I can kind of identify like what type of bees they are. And I managed to see some this morning. I have seen kind of like 3 main types in total. There's just like the regular bees that I kind of see out and about like all day, every day. Then there have been some that have been hanging around my eggplants, and I think I've identified those as blue-banded bees, which are a native Australian bee. They have like a very distinct blue colour on their stripes on their abdomen. And I think I have some resin bees living just near the back door. But I'll actually take you guys out and see if I can show you some bees. I'm sure there's plenty out there still. So I'm not 100% sure, but these are the European bees. So these are like the standard bees that were imported to Australia, I believe. I don't know where they live though. I haven't seen their hive. I just saw a blue one. No, I don't know where he is. There he is. They're so fast. So in here is another native bee. If I can just show you like the nest. Oh, I don't think I can get it. I've not been able to get a good photo or video of the bee that lives in that pipe near the door, but I'm pretty confident it is a resin bee based on what the inside of its little nesting pipe looks like, and also because I've only seen one of them twice and it almost didn't even look like a bee. There was no stripes or anything. It was just like big black, and like half of it was like a golden color. It was just like the 2 colors. So I've had a look and I'm pretty confident that it is a Australian native resin bee. And then we've got the blue banded bees living somewhere amongst the eggplants. I'm assuming because they always seem to be flying around that area, and obviously there's a lot of native flowers throughout the yard, so they tend to like those as well. And then there's just those kind of standard bees. I am not really sure where a lot of them live, but I'm guessing a lot of the native bees are like solitary, because most of them are. They don't really live in hives with like a queen or anything like that. The only kind of like colony that I've seen is a colony of, I think they're wasps. I am not really sure if they're wasps or bees. They're stripy, but I'm pretty sure based on what they look like that they are wasps. But plenty of pollinators, probably a whole lot more that I'm yet to see in my backyard. So I'm very excited, and I think I'm going to go and buy a native beehive and put it somewhere in the backyard just to provide a little bit more suitable habitat for some native bees, and hopefully I'll be able to see more of them out and about. Oh, hi, Rock. Always a cutie. Oh, you're so beautiful, hey? So I have been in bed working on my thesis today because I had really bad cramps, but I'm finally feeling a little bit better, and I'm gonna take Rocco for a walk to Bunnings. I like to walk him there instead of driving so that I don't like impulse buy any seedlings and things that I don't need. So I'm going to take him, and we're going to get a native bee hotel, so that hopefully I can provide a little bit more suitable accommodation for some of those native bees that I've got in my backyard. I'm also just going to go around the yard and I'll take you guys with me and show you. I do have a few other things to house and provide shelter and habitat for different wild animals, but some of them need a little TLC. I cleaned one of them the other day, and there's another one that is basically hidden amongst this tree that has just grown out of control. So I'm gonna prune it right back so that wild animals can actually find this little nesting box. And then I'll show you my water garden that I have been building over the last month or so, and I really want to finish it soon because so far there's like no frogs or anything living there, and I know that once they start living there I'm not going to want to disturb them, and I just need to like finish basically the other side of this little pond. I kind of ended it very abruptly because I was too tired to physically dig, and there was just a few things in the way, and I really want to finish that out so that once some frogs do start living there, hopefully, fingers crossed, they decide to find it and live there. But once that kind of happens, I don't want to be disturbing it by having to like build it or move rocks and things around. So I want to get that finished today. So I'll show you guys how I'm creating these little kind of bits of habitat for wildlife throughout my backyard. So this is a nesting box that is hidden by the tree, and I'm just going to prune it back. Okay, so I literally just removed this one branch, and I'm going to keep this other one to the side there because I think it offers like enough protection from like the house and everything, but animals can still get in. Here in Australia, there are lots of reasons why we can create wildlife habitats in our suburban backyards. Firstly, biodiversity conservation. As human development continues to expand and fragment natural habitats, suburban backyards can provide an important refuge for native species that have lost their homes. Secondly, ecosystem services. Many wildlife species provide important ecosystem services such as pollination, seed dispersal, and pest control. And by creating habitats for these species in our backyards, we can help to maintain the ecological processes that support our environment and our own well-being. Finally, climate change. Climate change is having a significant impact on wildlife species, and creating habitat in our suburban backyards can help to support species that are adapting to changing environmental conditions. So this was the side of the water garden I just fixed up. The pond liner actually went like another 2 meters to the right, but I've basically just cut it and hopefully that lasts. I wanted to keep that as a boggy area, and I might fix that up another time, but for now I'm just going to end it here. So this is my little water garden. It is made in an old garden bed that I dug up. I've been putting some of these like grassy kind of water-loving plants around the edges to encourage frogs because they like to use the grass as a bit of protection. There is a lot of leaf litter here, but I've heard that that's really good for frogs, so I'm hoping that it's not too much of a problem. This little tub is basically the deep end or the deep part of my pond because I didn't want to dig all that way. And then basically the shallower part of the pond is made with this pond liner, and I've connected it with these like steel pegs. They're marine grade, so I'm hoping that they don't rust or anything like that. And then, yeah, this pond liner is basically just the shallower part of my pond. I've got these water herbs, which I've pruned right back because I'm trying to train them to grow up instead of out across the water. The brahmi is going really well and flowering at the moment. It is absolutely stunning. And then this is kind of my marginal part. So I just put some kind of rocks in there to create the shallow, and then it comes into this nice boggy area. So the pond liner goes all the way back here to the edge of the garden bed, and I've just put rocks on the end of it for now. But basically having the pond liner there means that this soil here is always nice and moist, so it creates like a nice boggy area. This tree was here in the garden bed, and I didn't want to remove it. It was the only thing that was actually planted in the garden bed. Everything else was kind of in pots, so it was easy to remove. These are just like little bits of wood and things that I've found lying around the yard that will hopefully provide a bit of frog habitat. And here I've got more of the herbs, so as they're growing I've just been propagating them and hopefully they'll grow here. This is my taro and I love it. This is the taro illustris. It is a gorgeous kind of like dark purple colour and it is in a pot at the moment, but I'm hoping to maybe grow the taro kind of all along the back there because I would love to have more of it. It does have an edible root. And then here in the boggy area I would love more taro. So that's kind of the idea for now. But yeah, this is my little boggy area, which I absolutely love. Okay, I had these seeds for some water spinach and watercress that I've just planted in here. So I covered that last little bit of the pond liner with dirt. Hopefully it stays nice and moist and these grow, but we'll see. I've been waiting so bloody patiently for my rock melons and they're still not ready. Oh, I'm gonna get him. There he is. Ooh, a little Spidey. They love my eggplants. So there's like 3 of the blue banded bees at the moment just buzzing around here, and this is where I have put the little bee hotel that we got, and that is where the resin bees seem to live. So hopefully this is a good location because there seems to be lots of native bees in this area. Hello.